Spring Grove Lion football team opened up the season with a 37-12 victory over Leroy Ostrander Lyle Pacelli at home last Friday night. Head coach Kody Moore here to recap that game. And Kody, I know the cliche is games are won in the trenches, but observing that game, that was a lot more than a cliche last Friday night. You agree?
Yeah, that's you said it all right there, Darren. The way our guys played physical up front on both sides of the ball was exactly what we talked about leading up to that game. And I really gotta, tip my hat to Eric Elton and his game plan going into that. I thought we did a really nice job executing what he was telling those guys all week. Really, if I had to look at one position group and defense overall in general, obviously, but our D line was very disruptive. You look at any time, you hold a team to, I think they had 52 yards on the ground total. That tells you you're doing something right up front in terms of making it really tough on them. I thought we really got after their quarterback. He's a very athletic kid, and we did a good job containing him. We didn't allow him to use his legs, and we just made him real uncomfortable, I think. And bottom line, I really got to tip our cap to the defensive line and what they were able to do.
And you touch on the defense. The offense got rolling in the second half, and special teams were also a big factor with that block punt directly leading to a touchdown. How cool is it in week number one to get that much contributions from really all aspects of your game?
Yeah, I think it's important because we know it's a three aspect game in terms of winning football games as you go into the season. If you can have three solid units and three units contributing like we did there Friday night, that's huge. I think we were kind of that first half we were doing our best Iowa Hawkeye football impersonation in terms of really leaning on special teams and defense, and then like you said, Darren, the second half our offense really stepped it up. I think it really came down to eliminating some self-inflicted wounds in terms of, handling some snaps, penalties, things of that nature. Once we were able to do that, we were able to get rolling there, which was really good to see.
And it was the first varsity start at quarterback for Dylan Halverson. How would you assess his play?
I think he was efficient. It's the varsity game moves a lot quicker. He didn't see a lot of reps last year. He's been our G quarterback for a few years, so you get some work there. But the speed of the varsity game is completely different. And even look at that opening play. He had a big run. We had a pass called, and he tucked it and ran for I think it was a 40+ yard run. I think that got him kind of into the flow and comfortable there early. And in the passing game, he was efficient. I think we had him 7 to 15 for 96 yards and a couple touchdowns. So for your first varsity start to handle the speed of the game the way he did, I was real pleased with that, and I think he's only going to get better as we go here.
And Caden Gerard, hard to have a better opening night than him. Caught a touchdown pass and three picks on defense. What made it work for him?
Yeah, I think he was, opportunistic in terms of just being aggressive and ball hawking when footballs were in the air. And I think if you talk to Caden, he'd tell you, the D line getting pressure was a big part of that too, being in their quarterback space and him kind of putting the ball up there for 50-50 opportunities. And Caden made the most of those opportunities. The one thing too, and I'm sure you noticed there, Darren, when he picks it off, he's got to know as he's gonna, he's heading towards the end zone. He's running hard. He's just a kid that's really good with the ball in his hands. And so he played, last year he was a heavy defensive guy, really the last 2 years, didn't get a lot of offensive opportunities. But it was good to see him kind of make an impact there on offense as well.
And this week, back at home against Bethlehem Academy, a new team to nine-man football. Granted, you got the film from week number one, but is there any particular challenge facing a team that's new to this game as compared to facing a veteran nine-man team?
Yeah, there's challenges for sure. I think like you said, only having the one film makes it a little difficult in terms of hey, they could come out and do some completely different stuff that we didn't see in that first film. I think the thing about it is these other teams that we play year after year, you kind of have a good feel for what they like to do. And so, we're trying to get our guys ready off of one game film, and that can be a little difficult, but we'll be ready for whatever they throw at us. It looks like, again, like a lot of nine-man teams that you see, they have an athletic quarterback. They have, what it looks like a monster at running back in terms of the size of the kid. And so there's some tools there for them that, I know they took a tough loss there to a really good Kingsland team, but they have some tools that you can see there's potential there. Hopefully, we can do a really nice job in the trenches again up front on the O line and D line, like we did last Friday. And if we're able to do that, I think we'll give ourselves a good shot to win.
But the bottom line is, you look at the last few years, Bethlehem Academy usually has gotten to that section final in Class A. It's usually been them in Fillmore Central. So obviously, they got some talented football players, correct?
Yeah, you can just see they're well coached for sure. Their fundamentals are sound. They really spread the ball around, spread you out, and do some different things. And I think, like you said, when they have the success that they've had at the 1A level, they're looking to continue that trend in 9-man, and you can definitely see on the film there's potential there. And so we're gonna have to have our guys ready to go. Like I said, we make it real simple. It comes down to physicality, energy, and effort. We take care of those things. You feel like you give yourself a shot no matter who you're playing against.
All right, Coach. Hopefully, it can be 2-0 that we're talking about next week. Keep your guys healthy. We wish you best of luck.
Thanks a lot, Darren.
Kody Moore, head coach of the Spring Grove Lions. They defeated Leroy Ostrander Lyle Pacelli last week. It's Bethlehem Academy coming to town Friday night.